Sa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Good morning, everyone. So today we'll be continuing with from the place where we stopped of the Nandasuttaṃ, right? Of the Nandasuttaṃ. Yeah. So after, I think we were. It's now someone, I think Brother Robin translated, or Dr. Ryan translated lastly, right? So it's I have to explain now. I think we stopped around here, right? Yeah. And thank you for the information, Dr. Ryan, about the Rupananda's information. So it makes clear, because when a person like Shadow Nandamala suggests that it's the same, we can rely on that more, that it was the same sister he was going to marry. Then I think we are supposed to translate from here, right?
Yes, Bhante.
Yeah, okay, right. So, and also there was a discussion about Yadidang. I discussed with my friend, so we'll after doing the translation up to here, I'll come into that point also. So then here Atako Bhagava Ayasmantang Nandang Bahaya Gahitva Seyatapi Nama Balava Puriso Samminjitang Va Baham Pasaraya Pasaritang Va Baham Samminjaya Evameva Jetavane Antarahito Devesu Tavatinsesu Patrahosi. So it's a long sentence actually. It's a long sentence. So here the subject verb is Patrahosi, appeared. Who was the subject? Bhagava. The blessed one appeared, right? Appeared. So are there any, now we should think about the gerunds and past participles. So there's a gerund here. We can say we can color it, Gahetva. Then there's a simile, Sayatapinam Balava Puruso, Samminjitang va Baham Pasaraya, Pasaritang va Baham Samminjaya. Evame Jetavane Antarahito, this is a past participle here. Devesu Tavatinsesu Patrahosi. So Samminjitang and Pasaritang also we have two participles. Samminjitang va Baham Pasaraya, Pasaritang va Baham Samminjaya. Right. So this is, we can say, it's a separate part. This is a separate part. It's a simile. So this is the main sentence. Atako Bhagava Ayasmantan Nandang Bahaya Gahitva Jetavane Antarahito Deve Sutavatinse Supatrahosi. This we can take as the main part of the sentence. This and this. So it's easy. Then Atako, the blessed one, Gahitva, having taken whom? Having taken whom? Bahayang Gahitva. Ayasmantan Nanda. So he took Venerable Nanda on hand, at his hand. So if he asks, what did he actually take? He captured his arm. But in the end, arm belongs to Venerable Ayasmantan Nanda. So we can say he took Venerable Nanda. The object of Gahitva we can explain as Nanda. At which place he took him? At the arm. So arm is written in locative case. The person whom he took is accusative case. But also we can argue that Gahitva means he took the arm of Venerable Nanda. We can also suggest like that. He took the arm of Venerable Nanda. But here what they want to say is he took Venerable Nanda with his arm. So at his arm. So when we take someone, when we take someone from a certain body part, sometimes we may take someone or grab someone from hair. So we say Kesesu Gahitva. So the place where you touch him or her should be written in locative case. The place where one touches, right? And also the person. So it's a we can take it as a rule actually. Some grammarians explain this as a normal rule. Now, for instance, should be a right. Yeah, so we can take it as when someone grabs or grab another person. So the person who is being grabbed is written in accusative case. When someone grabs another person, how to say, with a certain body part, so then the body part at which the person is grabbed is written in locative case. Okay. We can say, so Dara King, right? So Dara King, Kese Su Ganhi, he took or grabbed the girl at her or with her hair, right? So this should be written in locative, this should be written in accusative. So that is normally a grammatical rule that we use in Pāli. Right? So this is the normal rule that we need to follow. So here also, Buddha took Venerable Nanda with his arm, at his arm, then he disappeared. Now this is the main part, the first part. Then second part, he appeared. Where did he appear? Tāvatinsesu devesu, among. So when we appear among someone, that the people whom among we appear, or among we sit, has to be written in locative case. That's obvious. So it's a we can say it's like a place or the location where he appeared or sat down. So here the Buddha appeared there, right? So Tāvatinsesu devesu, among the deities of Tāvatinsa. Before that, he did another action, antarahito. This is a past participle. Past participle in nominative case is normally acting like a gerund. Antaradaitva, if you want to put it as a gerund, antarahito means disappear. So you want to put it as gerund. Antaradayitva. Because this DH turns into H when it comes to past participle. So having disappeared in Jetavana. Having disappeared in Jetavana. So now there is another rule for this antarahita. Antarahita. If we want to disappear from someone, we can use the ablative case, like I hide from my teacher. I hide from my teacher. Upajjhaya antarahito. But when we disappear in a certain location, we use the locative case. So you can see this change difference in Nirutti Dipani. These two usages have been used. Normally, this is normally what we see in suttas is we disappear in a certain place and we appear somewhere else. So this is, he disappeared in Jetavana and he appeared among the deities of Tavatimsa. So that was the main sentence. So then the Blessed One, having taken Venerable Nanda from his arm, disappeared in Jetavana. Actually, we can say disappeared from Jetavana, but normally it is used the locative case, right? Disappeared in Jetavana. We can say disappeared from Jetavana, right? And appeared among the deities of Tavatimsa. So whenever ladies have to say, when you disappear or hides from someone, normally we use the ablative case. Upajjhaya antarahito. So then, yeah, something like that. Then how he disappeared is explained in this sentence. Now this part is a simile. It is related to this part, this phrase, clause. Now we can say phrase, this part of the sentence, not this part. Here it says that when Buddha took him from his hand, and he disappeared suddenly and appeared among the deities of Tavatimsa. Now, how did he do? In which speed? How quickly he did it? This is what the ones who wanted to say. This is not Buddha's words. These are given by either Venerable Ananda or kept by the counselors, the first council. Buddha normally, if he repeated this story, the commentary says, some says that he repeated the entire story to the monks. Maybe he would have told it. And some says he made the other monks to see this entire incident. So there are two opinions about this. So whatever it is, it seems like this same sort of usage has been used everywhere. So it has been used by the Sanghakarakas mostly, the ones who made the councils. And even normally Buddha, when the Buddha relate a story about himself, he normally uses same type of phrase. So we can also say it's a wording of the Buddha. So Sayatapi, as if, Sayatapi. Nama, Sayatapi Nama is a one kind of a usage, as if. Balava Puriso, we have to take it as a one sentence. It's easier to understand. Balava Puriso, Samminjitang va bahang pasaraya, pasaritang va bahang samminjaya. This is an optative case, as if, the conditional. So this is the verb, two verbs, pasaraya and samminjaya. Pasaraya and samminjaya. As if a Balavam is a strong man, pasaraya, extends. What does he extend? Bahang, the arm. What sort of an arm? Samminjitam bahang, an arm that has been, how do you call it? Bended. A balm which has been bended already. Bended, extended, right? Samminjita is bended. So this Samminjita is acting as a adjective to this bahang, right? Bahang. So this doesn't break the sentence normally, but if we could have used some words and made a different clause, but here that's the usage of a past participle. Past participle can anytime break a sentence. Like Sayatapi nama balava puriso, we can say Sigan samminjitang va bahang, or we can add some words here and we can completely break the sentence from here. So like that's why I colored it. But here it is functioning as an adjective because it's not very complicated, but still it's a past participle. So as if a strong man extends the arm which has been bended, folded, we can say, which has been folded. And also as if a strong man, samminjaya, fold an arm or bend an arm which has been extended, pasaritang. Pasaritang va bahang samminjaya. So va shows either you extend the arm that has been folded or fold the arm that has been extended. It shows that either one of the cases. So Normally we would say both the actions would take the same time. Both the actions would take the same time. But we normally know, scientifically we can say, normally extending would take lesser time because of the support of the gravity. Bending would take more energy because you have to lift it up rather than bending it down. There can be a very slight difference scientifically. But normally, roughly talking, we may say it may take the same time. So either the time that takes to extend the arm that has been bended or fold an arm that has been extended, evameva, in that manner. So as if, so when you say as if, so sayatapi nama and evameva should be connected. As if a person who would extend, this optative case, would extend the arm that has been folded, or fold an arm that has been extended in the same manner, right? As if would do that, the Buddha disappeared from Jetavana or in Jetavana and appeared among the deities of Taotism. Right? That is the understanding of this long sentence. So this is like a upama and upameya. This part from here to here we call is an upama. Upama, right? So this is upameya. So in a simile, we have when we use a metaphor or simile, this is the simile that we give, and this is the actual incident. Upameya is the actual thing. When we say your face is like a moon, moon is the upama, face is the upameya, the actual thing or the actual incident. Upameya, that is brought under that which is brought under the simile, explained by the simile. Right? So this is upama. This part has no relationship with upama upameya. This is just what happened before this incident. So this incident is the upameya. This is the upamana. Upamana we can call upamana. Then this is the incident which happened before the main, like this part, right? So this is the it's a quite long sentence, but I think we can have discussion on that. We'll first finish few paragraphs. Tenakopana samayena. Yeah. Tenakopana samayena, at that time, I think everyone can understand this. Panchamattani achara satani sakkassa devana mindassa upattanam agatani honti kakutapadani. It's a very simple sentence. Though it seems like a bit complicated, you can see it's a very simple one. It's a honti. Honti. Agatani honti. Right? So this is the verb. Came. Agatani honti. It's in neuter gender. Why is that? The subject is written in neuter gender. Tenakopana samayena at that time. What is the subject here? Who came? Who came in neuter gender plural? Because it's neuter gender plural verb, past participle, acting as a verb. So we can easily guess what is the subject. Panchamattani achara satani kakutapadani. These are the subjects related to the subject, right? So achara satani, panchamattani achara satani. Panchamattani means about 500. Mattani, matta is about. Achara satani. So even though they act as two words, you have to consider it as about 500 female deities. Achara. About 500 female deities. They have been explained. They are adjective. Kakuta padani. Kakuta padani means normally kakuta. I'm not sure, I think Dr. Ryan gave a good translation for that. There's one word for that. Normally the meaning is kakuta means pigeon. Normally, according to the traditional, it's pigeon. So pada is legs. Normally the legs of a pigeon is we can see in the commentary. It says pata parata. Wait, I forgot that word. Just give me one moment. Bāyang gahitwa viya kakuta padani. Ratta vannataya visi Pārāvata sadisani. Pārāvata means a name for the pigeon. Pārāvata kakuta. There are few names for the pigeon. So Ratta vannataya, because they are red color. The pigeon's legs are red color. So these ladies, the deities, also had a red legs. I don't know how it looks, right? Red color legs. The commentary says they used to offer monks some oil to apply on their legs, because monks used to go for Pindapata on those days during the Kasava Buddha's dispensation, before the previous Buddha's dispensation. So because monks used to walk a lot, so it's very, very helpful if you apply some oil. It relaxes your muscles. I think we are aware of when we walk upon the Chaityo, there are places that they apply oil on your feet. And it also happens when we climb the Adam's Peak in Sri Lanka, which is a very high mountain. People believe the Buddha visited there. So on the way, there are places that people apply oil. For monks, they do it freely normally. So it relaxes your muscles. So that's why these ladies had offered oil in their previous lives. So they had very beautiful, attractive legs when they were born in as female deities, and they were red color. They were red color. So maybe it seems very odd if we have red color legs to a human female, but anyway, it showed that Sutta say that they were very attractive. Then, so Panchamattani Achara Satani Sakkassa Devana Mindassa Upattanam Agatani. Upattana means to attend. Normally we know Upattana, the word Upattana, U plus tha, Upa plus tha, governs the dative case. So traditionally we would say for the attending of Sakka, right? We normally translate attending of Sakka, but it normally, traditionally, we refer it as a dative case. To remember, Upa plus ta is a dative governing root, right? So, but normally we translate it. At that time, 500 female deities whose legs looks like that of pigeons because of its red color had come for the attending, or for the attending, or to serve the king Sakka, Devanami, the king of goats. So it's a normal sentence. Then Atako, then Bhagava Ayasmantan Nandang Amantes. I can everyone can understand. I don't need to translate this. Atako Bhagava Ayasmantang Nandang Amantes addressed. Passasi no twang Nanda Imani Pancha Achara Satani Kakuta Padani. Passasi no twang Nanda. So he's asking the question, Twang, Venerable Nanda, this is Passasi no or Passasi no? Right. So it doesn't say anything. So I'm aware of a prefix, like normally no means to the negation. But I have read in some grammar books, no and nu have the similar meaning sometimes. We'll discuss on this later. Sometimes no equals to nu in some cases. So maybe this is the case they have been. I didn't actually, when I was reading, I didn't notice this point. I thought it as nu. So Passasi no twang Nanda Imani Pancha Achara Satani. So we'll take it as a question, interrogation particle. Twang, you, Passasi, do you see? Nanda is the vocative case. So what is the object of this seeing? Neuter gender plural. Imani Pancha Achara Satani. Pancha Achara Satani. These 500, so this should be one word, Pancha Achara Satani. These 500, sometimes, yeah, it's also possible to have two words, still possible. Anyway, imani panchachara satani kakuta. Do you see these 500 female deities who are having red color legs like that of pigeons? He's asking. Evam Bhante. Yes, Venerable Sir. Yes, Bhante. So then he asked the question. Yeah, it's a long paragraph. Yeah, before we go into that, we can have a discussion on these two paragraphs. Yeah, if you have any questions.
Yeah, hi Bhante.
Yes, Dr. Ryan.
Yeah, I have a question about the word Sayatha Pinama. So
Okay.
both of them always come together or just in this particular place, Bhante?
Sayyathapi sometimes comes alone, I think.
Right. If that's the case, then what does the nama mean in this case, Bhante?
Because when you go into Parajika and all, this is Sayyatapi Brahmana, Puputiya Andan. Sometimes it comes with Sayyatapi Nama. I think, it's a good question. What is the function of Nama? We can find without Nama in many places.
Yeah.
That I'll ask my friend what is the difference. I'm unable to get. Sorry, I'll ask and let you know.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. And then the other question is also about that sentence. So Sayatha Pinama Palawa Buiso and so on, all the way to a wa me wa. So Sayatha Pi, it's the tang plus yatha plus happy, right, Bhante?
Yeah.
So we have yatha and then we have awang at the end. So this is basically a relative and demonstrative.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of strange because I mean at the end we just stop at A1 and then it's nothing after that. So I mean it's a little bit strange to me. So this is very common, Bhante.
So I will just analyze it now. Sayyatapi is normally it should be so, but it is say because of Magadi or the Magadi.
Yeah.
Yatha plus api, right? P.
Yeah.
Okay. Api. Then we have Eva. Evang. Eva. Right? So even these two are relative close, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So now, yeah, can you repeat this question again? This question.
Yeah. So here we have yatha starts the relative clause, and then A1 starts the demonstrative clause.
Right.
But here it just stops at A1. It doesn't say anything more.
It should be connected to this.
Right. It just because I'm a little bit confused because earlier you said that it have nothing to do with that. That is just upamana, and then this one is the upameya. Upameya.
Right. So this I'm saying is this one has no relationship.
Right.
Right. This one we should take as one thing. At the same time, when we talk about the sentence, this and this are the main parts of the sentence. But when we talk about the simile, this is the one thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, it should be like this. It should be removed from here. It's my mistake. Sorry for that. It should be removed from here and it should be here. Actually.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. It should be here. So this line has made made it confused, right?
Right.
If we didn't have the two lines, yeah. If it was not here, for example, this would be. But then what happens? I think they wanted to show that this part and this part is acting as one sentence.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Sorry for that. Yeah.
Okay. And then also, I think this question relates to the answer that you are going to give us later regarding the word yatidang. Because so here we also have tang and yatha. So there is also tang here. So what is tang in here?
Sure.
Right.
Tang.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I think you explain that later. Okay. So
yeah, I'll come to that now.
Oh, okay, Bhante.
So what I got from my friend is, I asked this question, Yadidang. So he mentioned now it's a very something tricky. According to the tradition, this is a nipata, he said. But whenever they give the meaning, they separate it as yang plus idang. So, for example, Yadidang Sariputto. If you want to say Yadidang Sariputto, Etadaggam, the Sariputta was the highest, foremost. Etadaggam Bhikkave Mama Savakana, something like that. For example, Etadaggam Bhikkave Mama Savakanam Bhikkунam Mahapanyana. Yadidang Sariputto. So this is the normal sentence. So normally when we give the explanation on this, Etadaggam Bhikkave Mama Savakana, Etang Aggam Bhikkave Mama Savakana, Bhikkунam Mahapanyana, Yadidang Sariputto. So normally say Yadidang, they normally explain this, Yo Ayang Sariputto. So normally this is how we give the explanation, we give the definition. So always in everywhere we normally change the word. So therefore, the sub-commentary, he said normally the Silakkanda sub-commentary, he couldn't remember the exact place because they studied it for Abhivansa. They normally say it has to be given, the meaning should be given like a sabbanama, like we call it pronouns, as a pronoun. And also we normally see in the commentary, Etadaggam Eso Aggo, we normally see. Eso Aggo Bhikkave Mama Savakana. He's the foremost. Why is that? Because of Sariputta. So this is how we get the meaning. Eso Aggo Bhikkave Mama Savakana Bhikkунam Mahapanyana Yo Ayang Sariputto. Yo Ayang Sariputto, who is called Sariputta, he is the foremost among my monks who have the greatest wisdom. So this is how we normally explain it grammatically. So even the sub-commentators say this should be taken as a sabbanama. And for that, why do we do that? We want to match the gender. We want to match the gender. So that's what they normally do. But all the places they have used this as nipata. Why is that? Because it doesn't change according to the noun it follows, to noun it refers. So it also has the characteristic of nipata, but strangely, ironically, whenever we give the meaning, we try to explain it having changed the gender, right? Having changed it. So what is he telling is, it has both the functions. Yo, it should act as two sabbanama nouns when you take the meaning. Sometimes it acts as a nipata. And there is some teachers, sometimes in the tradition, the same sentence to match it with the gender, they have been taught, instead of changing the gender, what they do is Etadaggam Bhikkave Mama Savakana Yadidang Bhikkунam Mahapanya Yadidang Sariputto Nama means called, the Sariputta, right? This is strange. Khanda Panchakam. Right? So they add this part to show that Khanda Panchakam, to match the noun, and they would say Buddha uttered the verse, this sentence, in an ultimate way, like even he didn't want to explain that there was the conventionally name, he just referred to the ultimate sense. I'm not sure how reliable this is, but this is how they have been also given thought in the Dhammacharyas, that some teachers suggest to take it like that. So then there is no necessary of changing the gender, because Khanda Panchakam is neuter gender. The group of 5 aggregates called Sariputta. Sariputto Nama Khanda Panchakam. So these 5 aggregates, which is called Sariputta, is the foremost among the monks who have, among my disciples, monk disciples, who had the greatest wisdom. So this also shows that they want to consider it as two pronouns. But if they are asked to name it in the tradition exams, what it is, they have to name it as Nipata, because it doesn't change, because there are many occasions it doesn't change. The gender has not been changed. And then he mentioned there's another usage, for example, Tathagato. Maybe this sentence is not entirely correct, but this kind of a sentence. Tathagato Aggamakkayati. Yadidam Kusalesu Dhammesu. So Tathagata is the foremost in practicing good deeds. So here Aggamakkayati is Aggoti Akkayati is known as the greatest. Yadidam normally they consider as Nipatamattang, which has no specific meaning. So in some cases they take it as a Nipatamatta. Nipatamatta we know it has no meaning. So my friend said in the commentary of such places, the commentary just didn't give any meaning to this. They just explained the remaining part without referring to Yadidang. So according to their teachings that they do in Myanmar, Yadidang is a Nipata, and sometimes Yadidang has no meaning. No meaning. So what is the meaning of Nipata? Yadidang is a Nipata, still is a Nipata that has no meaning. So here, what is the Nipata means? It refers to this person. That's another thing. Nipata, which refers to the noun that follows, right? And it is being used in the relative meaning. It has been used in the relative meaning. Yo I am. That is obvious because that's how we give the meaning. That's why even the commentators change the gender and try to explain it. So they consider it as a Nipata because it doesn't change its manner. So, but when we go into the meaning, we have to consider it as two separate nouns, pronouns. Yeah. So this is what I got from my friend. Yes.
So Bhante, it is so it refers to noun, but so in this case it is the relative kind of relative pronoun.
It refers to this noun. What he said like that. It refers to this following noun. So both the nouns are referring to the same thing. Yadidang means yo ayang sariputto. Like though there are two nouns, they are collectively referring to the same thing. So according to if this is female, feminine, ya ayang. So yang etang. Some yang idang or yang etang they change according to the gender of the noun that follows. They are acting as a collective thing, referring to the same noun.
Right. But I guess my question is because here when we divide it up, so as you said here is yo ayang. So so the main pronouns we take is yo, not ayang, right, Bhante?
Yes, yo should be the main pronoun. Yes, exactly.
Right. So because later on we have eso, so yo is the relative and eso is demonstrative.
Exactly.
Right. So can we use the same analysis for the word say yatapi, right?
Seems like yeah. This should be the main part, yata.
Yes.
Then it's clear, right? So then we can say yata is the main part. This is a relative. This is the demonstrative.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, it's clear. Okay, thank you, Bhante. Yeah, and then and then the next question is in the next paragraph, Bhante. So at the beginning of the paragraph we have panchamattani, So it's the about 500, but at the end, in the book, the Buddha's words, the Buddha said pancha, so exactly 500.
Again, right?
Yeah.
You mean
so here the Buddha say pancha. The Buddha didn't say pancha matta. So the Buddha said that it's exactly 500.
Exactly. Yeah. Here it's about, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if there is any, a reason behind. So when we say the pancha matta, that is the Venerable Ananda's word. Right? So that because he telling the story. But down here, this is a quote from the Buddha, and the Buddha said that this is exactly 500. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit strange.
We come into a conclusion that even when the Buddha says a number, it's a rough number.
Yeah.
And we come to the conclusion, like even the Buddha says the exact number, like a perfect number, the disciples knew that it was a rough one.
Yes. Okay.
We can think like that, right?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Any other cues to discuss? Okay, so then we'll go to the next one.
Excuse me, Bhante.
Yes, Pāḷi. Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So is it okay to say that sometimes, in this case, just
you need to raise your voice, Pāḷi, sister. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, please go ahead. Yeah. Hello. Okay, now I can hear you. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I have two questions.
Okay.
The first one is about the Panchamatali Achara Sapani. That one and confirm from the Buddha's saying, like just now you discussed. Is it okay to say that the matter in this case has no meaning also? Because I don't think the Buddha can say a rough number. The Buddha
would you think that he would say 502 achara?
But if
very odd, right?
I think if it is about 500, he would say about.
He would have said.
Yeah, like this. So I think that time would be 500. Or another meaning is that this 500 doesn't mean anything. It's just 500 means many, like that. And I don't know why that the matter, the word about come like. So either they have no meaning or this Pancha Satta is just a rough number at the Indian time at that time to indicate a big number of people or something like that. Because everything everywhere is 500. It's like this. So this 500 and about 500.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'll give you some other insights on this. I can give some insights on this. If you go into the Buddha Vansapali, I would prefer you to go or to check this. If you go into the Buddha Vansapali, if you look into the proclamation or the prophecy given by the previous Buddhas about the Gautama Buddha, right? They used to say this Buddha, the Gautama, will live for 100 years. They would live for 100 years. But he actually lived for 80 years. We know that exactly. So we can have two arguments on this. One is like they were referring to the lifespan of that time. The normal lifespan was 100 according to the Buddha's teachings, but he lived for 8 years. So maybe the past Buddhas were referring to the lifespan, that he would live 100 lives, but actually he lived for 80 years, and maybe it was not determined. Like Buddhas knew that he will be born in such an era. But he actually, whenever Ananda didn't invite him, so he lived for 8 years. Or otherwise, we can say they were referring to a rough kind of a age, right? So it's something also to think. What in the Buddha Vansa Pāļi, if you go into all the Buddhas used to say that he would live for 100 years, that he would have a lifespan of 100. But actually, we know for exactly, according to the teachings that we have today, our Buddha lived just for 80 years. So likewise, the numbers, as you said, 500 is a very common number. 84,000 is a very common number. So there have been such numbers like that, as you said, very, very common. In the 1,250 is a very common number. So as far as I know, this should be considered as a very rough number, not exactly 1,250 or something, like the roughly. That's what I personally think. Yeah, but when you say that the Buddha would not say such a thing, I cannot completely refute that argument. I cannot just completely ignore that, because it also makes sense. If he knows everything, he would have just said it's just 502, just the adding of number 2 or 3. So it also makes sense. So yeah, we can think in many ways. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. The next question, yes, please.
Yes. The second question is about Kakutta Padani.
Right.
That one, pada here is translated as the leg, but yeah. I read from some other translation, it is referring, pada also means the foot or the feet, and they translate it like pink-footed. I think foot is better, but I don't know what kind of meaning can we determine here.
It's another good point. Pada. Pada means sometimes pada can refer to the leg and also to the footstep. Footstep is also pada. Pada can refer to the foot and also the leg. Now, if you go to the commentary, I think you can see the commentary. Kakutta Padani Rattavannataya Paravata Sadisa Padani, similar to the legs of a pigeon. So, is the legs of a pigeon, is it entirely red, or is the foot, only the foot part is red? So, we have to consider the simile here. You mean the sole? The entire sole is red color, like some people have the palms and soles. Is it? What do you mean?
Yeah, I think that would be the standard for aesthetic beauty.
That would be more attractive, right?
Yes.
Rather than red color legs. But when, and at the same time, sometimes we know when the Lichavis were coming. So Buddha used to say, if someone has not seen the deities of the Chatum Mahara or Tavatins, I think, just look at the Lichavis. There are various colors. So maybe there can be colorful devas. I'm not sure.
Okay, then this is very weird. But yeah. So pada here means legs.
Yeah, I understand. Yes. So what you're saying is, yeah, it means like, no, what about the pigeon's legs? The entire leg is red or just the lower part? If you go to the simile.
The pigeon, I think the entire leg, but it means here, it refers to, like in the case of samasa something, it refers to the soul of the
soul of the foot.
Yeah. For the deity, it's the soul of the foot, but for the pigeon, the whole feet, because the whole leg would include the foot, the feet, right?
Okay. So like it's now when you look into the karma, another point to see what the offering of the Takira Sabbhapi Kasapasa Bhagavato Savakana Pada Makkana Telena Hadisang Sukuma Pada Ahesum. So they gave the oil to rub their feet. So according to the karma, it seems like the entire leg was red, because the oil should be used to rub the lower part of the leg to relax the muscles, not only the sole. But yeah, so I would suggest that it's also difficult to judge, right? Isn't it? Now, how they look like in Deva realm. But I get your argument. Like normally we would say the red color soles, red color palms are very attractive. That's really something that is a beautiful feature of someone's body, rather than the entire leg is red, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's a good point. Good point.
Thank you.
Okay, Sadhu, sir. Thank you for that insight. And I also think the passasi no is passasi nu. Yeah, I missed that point. Passasi no is passasi nu. So no is equal to nu here. Yeah. Okay. Any things to be discussed on these two paragraphs? Okay. So then we'll move into the next paragraph. Now, having shown them, Buddha is asking a question from Venerable Nanda. Thanking manchasi Nanda Katamanuko Abhirupatarava Dassaniyatarava Pasadikatarava Sakyaniva Janapada Kalyani Imaniva Pancha Achara Satani Kakutapadaniti. Now he's asking a question. Thanking Manyasi, what do you think about it? Thanking Manyasi. Nanda, the vocative case. Katamanuko Abhirupatara. Katama is a female, feminine gender here. Who is more beautiful? Because you can see there is no verb here. There is no verb here. We had to put the verb honti, right? Hoti or honti. Katamanuko Abhirupatara. Who is more beautiful? Dassaniya, nice looking. Pasadika, attractive. They are very similar, right? Abhirupatara, Dassaniya, Pasadikatara. Wow, right? Sakyani va Janapada Kalyani, Imani va Pancha Achara Satani Kakutapada. Either it is your wife to be Sakyani, Janapada Kalyani, the Sakyan princess, or these 500 female deities who have whose legs are like that of pigeons, right? So either Abhirupatara, beautiful, Dasaniyatara, we can say nice looking, or Pasadikatara, whatever it is, this or this. Who is more attractive, more nice looking, more beautiful out of these two? Right? What do you think about it? Tankim Manyasi, Nanda. What do you think? So we can say this Manyasi is a question he's asking. What do you think, Nanda? This is another part. Who is more attractive? Who is more beautiful? Right? So this Tankim Manyasi is it's like it's out of this, like this Katamanuko Abhirupatara Dasaniyatara is a separate part. It's a questioning part. So what do you think about it? Like Satchanuko, is it true? Something like that. Sayyatapi Bhante. Now he's giving a simile. Sayyatapi Bhante. Palutta Makkati. Kanna Nasa Chinna. Eva Mevako Bhante Sakyani Janapada Kalyani Imesang Panchanna. Achara Satana. Here also, as you said, there is no Matta. Panchanna. Exact number is given. In the discussion, it's always Panchasata. When the Venerable Ananda was repeating this discourse, he was telling about 500. Or as our sister said, we can also, maybe sometimes the Matta has no meaning. If you want to exactly say that there were exactly 500 deities were there. So, Sakyani Janapada Kalyani Imesang Panchanang Achara Satanang Upanidhaya Sankyampi Nopeti Kalabhagampi Nopeti Upanidhimpi Nopeti. So this is the Upamana. Sayyatapi Nama Palutta Makkati Khandanasa Chinna Evameva Kobante Sakya Janapada Kalyani Imesam Panchanam Achara Satanam Upanidhaya Sankyampi Nopeti Kalabhagampi Nopeti Upanidhimpi Nopeti. So now this sentence, it's better to analyze this sentence quite detailedly, right? So I'll separate this sentence from others, and we also need to analyze the commentary for that. I'll first go to the commentary. Right. Right. We'll take this part, copy. We'll put it here. Commentary part. Different color. Okay. So this is the commentary explanation about this. Now, if you look into this, it seems little bit the sentence. Sayatapi as if, right? Without nama, as Dr. Rand said, without nama. Sometimes nama is there, sometimes nama is not there. Sayatapi evam evam, right? Sayatapi Bhante, Venerable Sir, palutta makkati kanna nasa chinna, as if, like that, giving this example, palutta means burnt. The body has been burnt. Makkati is a female monkey. Normally, monkeys are not attractive to humans, right? Monkeys may be attractive to monkeys, but not to the humans. So, palutta makkati. So, burnt monkey, female monkey. Kanna nasa chinna. It's not only burned. Her ears and nose have also been cut off or broken, removed, whatever, have been burned and completely burned, whatever it is. Normally it's cut off, it's better to say, whatever reason. Evamevako Bhante Sakyani Janapada Kalyani Imesam Panchanang Achara Satanang Upanidaya Sankyampi Nopeti Kalabhagampi Nopeti Upanidaya. So he's equaling her to this burned monkey. Now he was really attracted to her, but after seeing the female deities, he lost the attraction towards that, his wife to be. And he's equalizing or considering him like that burnt female. So the story says, when the Buddha was going to the Deva world, he took him by his arm. The commentary says, he made a miracle as if he was taken by his arm. Not he directly took him by arm. He was like, Gahitva Veer, like he made such a miracle that he took by his arm and went to the Deva world. So I don't know what does it mean by he made it to look like. Maybe he didn't touch him actually, or maybe it was like a simile, like you take someone, grab someone from hand and take to a certain room, something like that, a simile. So anyway, he took him to the Deva world. On the way to the Deva world, it says that he showed him a monkey, a female monkey, a burnt female monkey whose noses and ears and nose were cut off, and who was in a burnt place. So seems like that was a real incident, or maybe Buddha made such an incident, like with his miracles, whatever it is. When you read the commentary, it seems like that he showed an actual incident. There was an actual monkey, female monkey, whose body was burned and nose and ears were cut off. So now on the way he showed it. So when Venerable Nanda saw the female deities, and when the Buddha asked who is more attractive, now he's telling she's like that monkey to me compared to these female deities. So he lost the interest in her. He lost the interest in her. Because Venerable Nanda, you can see in the Nandasuttaṃ in Anguttara Nikaya, if I remember, Buddha mentions, if you want to express about Nanda very clearly, his own brother, who had all the 32 marks of a great human being, who was very, very attractive. If you want to explain about Venerable Nanda, really, you can say he's a Kulaputto, he's a Jati Kulaputto, he's of a very high clan. You want to say him correctly, he is from a higher clan, because he was the son of Suddhodana. So if you say Nanda correctly, express about Nanda, tell him that he ordained from a higher clan. If you want to express Nanda correctly, you have to mention that, as I remember, a very attractive, if my memory was correct. Then he mentioned, if you want to say Venerable Nanda correctly about Nanda, tell that a person with very strong lust, a person with very strong high degree of lust, Tibbaragu, And also, then he mentioned Venerable Nanda overcame all this because of his very intense practice of guarding his faculties. He had a very intense guarding Indriya Samvara Sila. He had to have that because his lust was very strong. He was very attracted to females. That's why he loved his wife to be, and suddenly seeing the beautiful ladies, he abandoned the attraction to his wife and he was attracted to the female ladies. And he started to practice, meditate and live the monk life to get those female ladies. So he had a very strong lust. Buddha knew it. So it's another thing that Nanda's characteristic, Venerable Nanda. Even though he became one of the great disciples of the Buddha, but as a Putujana, he had this defect. So now he is telling that his wife is similar to, wife to be is similar to such a monkey, female monkey. Now, if you look into this sentence grammatically, what is the subject of this sentence, verb of this sentence? Sayyatapi Bhante, Bhante is the vocative case. Parutta Makkati, Khandanasa Chinna, Evamevako Bhante, Sakyani, Janapada Kalyani. Imesam, Panchanang Atrasatan Upanida, Sankyampi no peti, na upeti. Na upeti. Doesn't come into. Right? What is this? Na upeti, no peti. Right? We have to divide the word. Na plus upeti. Upeti is the verb. Na is a particle. It becomes no peti. R and U connected become O. Right? R and U become O. No peti. So what is the subject of this upeti? Who doesn't come into that to be considered so? Doesn't come, doesn't reach somewhere. Janapada Kalyani. This is the subject. My wife to be Janapada Kalyani doesn't come in. Na upeti. To what? Sankyampi. Sankhya. Sankyam. Sankyam is the name to be called. Sankyam. Doesn't come into that name. The commentary says, doesn't come in to be called a lady even. It's a very strong statement he's telling. Sankyam means, if you go into the commentary, that's why I brought the commentary here. Otherwise, it's a little bit difficult to explain grammatically. We can see here. Sankyanti, ittiti gananam. To count, we can say. To count, sankhya. To count as a female, to be called as a female or to be counted as a female. Ittiti gananam na upeti. Upanidaya. Compared to, after comparing, this is a past part Jaran. Upanidaya no peti. Sakyani Janapada Kalyani na upeti. Sankyampi no, not to be counted. Sankyam, ittipi sankyam. We have to put the ittiti gananam. This is the commentary says. To be counted as a female, you have to put that in between. Upanidaya, compared to, having been compared. Upanidaya. In English, we have to say having been compared, but it is normally Sakyani is the subject of this verb, of this gerund, right? So when you, how do we explain the, how do we explain this, this Upanidaya? Upanidayati samipe tapetva upadayati. Samipe tapetva upadaya. Samipe tapetva upadaya. Upadaya means having taken, right? Having taken. Having kept it closer. Having kept it closer. So according to this, it seems like it is something like this becomes the object of the Upanidaya. It's a bit strange. We'll think on that later. So we go to the how do we explain Upanidaya? Samipe tapitva, having kept close by, close to the Devacharas, female deities. Upadaya. Upadaya means having taken. Or sometimes Upadaya means compared to that. Compared to that. If we just take it as compared to that, compared, we can take it as a subject. Subject as Janapada Kalyani. It's like Upanidaya. So it's like, even though we translate it as an object of Upanidaya, in Pāli terms, normally this, when we consider about something, compare with something, this is the term we use, Upanidaya. So it, in the Pāli context, to what I feel personally, this is still the subject of Upanidaya. This is still the subject of Upanidaya. But when you go into this commentary explanation, it means Samipe Tapatpe Upadaya. If you take it as having taken Upadaya, then it becomes the object. But if we consider it as just comparing, we can still take it as subject. We'll look into that later. So Sakyani Janapada Kalyani Imesang Panchannang Acharasatanang Upanidaya. Right? Upanidaya. Then we can go into another point. What is this Panchannang Acharasatanam? So here it says Panchannang Acharasatananti Upayoge Sami Vachanam. So sorry. I think now it's clear. Panchannang Acharasatanam Upanidaya. The object of Upanidaya is Acharasatanam, not this. Sorry for that. Right? Not the Sakyani. Object of Upanidaya. Having kept and taken. Having kept close and taken. So Imesam Panchannang Acharasatanam. This should be taken as accusative. Imani Pancha Acharasatani Upanidaya. So when the 500 female deities have been kept closer to when Janapada Kalyani and was taken into consideration. So this is the object of this Upanidaya. Right? So when the female deities have been kept close by and taken into consideration, this Sakyani Janapada Kalyani doesn't come in to be counted as a lady. Right? Doesn't come into counted as a lady. So we unlike this sentence. Yes, okay. So Janapada Kalyani doesn't come in to be counted as a lady. Sankyampi no peti. We have to take it as one in one meaning. Doesn't come in to be counted as a lady when these female deities have been kept close and taken into consideration. Right? Have been kept close and taken into consideration. So it means she is not worthy to be compared. She is not worthy to be called a lady when we call these female deities the ladies. Another way to consider this Imesam Panchannang Achara Satanam is Avayava Sambandhe Va Itta Sami Vachan. We can consider this as genitive case, but then we have to add some. We have to add another noun. Tena Panchannang Achara Satanam Rupa Sampatti Upanida. Either we take it, if you want to take it as the genitive case itself, you have to say Rupa Sampatti. Upanidaya. So Rupa Sampatti Upanidaya. So when the beauty of these female deities are taken into consideration, having kept close, when the beauty, not in the previous way, when these ladies were kept close and taken into consideration. Now, beauty of these ladies, female deities, were taken into consideration, having kept close. Then still, Janapada Kalyani doesn't count to be called a female. Right? Kalabhagampi no peti. Kalabhaganti kalayapi bhagam. Ekang, so we know that 16 into 16, right? Kalabhagaya kalayano. Ekang solasa kottase katva tato eka kottasang gahitva solasa daganite. Tatayo eka eko kottaso. So solasa bhagut. I mentioned this, and there are two explanations of this. 16, 1 under 16 into 16, or the power of 16 into 16, the power of 16. So there are two ways that we normally count this. So here it seems Solasada Ganite is the power of 16. 1 under 16 to the power of 16. Tanki kalabhagan na upeti padati. It means if you take the beauty of these female deities, the beauty of Janapada Kalyani is not even worthy of 16, even the amount of 16 into 16 into the power of 16. So it's uncomparable. That's why he's telling. Upanidimpi nopeti. Upanidimpi nopeti means upanidimpi. Imaya ayang sadisi. Upama bhavena gahetva samipe tapanampi. Upanidhi means to keep it, to consider it as a similar. Now, for example, we say you are like a divine being, your moon, some face is like a moon. So we normally compare. So Upanidimpi nopeti means should not be compared. Doesn't come into comparison. Doesn't come into comparison. So now this is the tricky part. Now it's very clear. This part is clear. In that way, Venerable Sir, Sakyani Janapada Kalyani, the Janapada Kalyani, the Sakyan princes, when compared to these 500 deities, right? While considering them having kept close, she, the Janapada Kalyani, doesn't count to be a female, is not even worthy of 16, one part of the 16th power of 16, or doesn't fit to be compared, doesn't come to the comparison. It's clear. So now the simile, Sayatapi Bhante Palutta Makkati Kannanasa Chinna, as if this burned female monkey whose ears and nose has been cut in that manner. So how do we match these? Now he's just telling Sakyani Janapada Kalyani doesn't come into be called a female lady and so forth. It's clear. But what is the match of the simile? So as if, what is the connection of this female monkey with this? Because just by saying this, it is clear to us that she and the deities cannot be compared. So what is the simile of this? Now for that, we have to go to the commentary. Palutta Makkati iti Jananga Pachanga Makkati. So Palutta Makkati means a female monkey whose body parts have been burned. Eva me koti yata. Oh, now Eva meva ko. Eva meva ko. Now the commentaries explain. Yata sa bhante tummehi mayang dastita chinna nasa chinna kanna nasa palutta makkati janapada kalyaning upadaya. Right? This is a very important part. So as if yata sa bhante tumhehi, by you, plural form for the out of respect. Tumhehi is referred to the Buddha. Mayang dasita, mayham dasita, shown to me by you. Who was shown? The burned female monkey whose ears and nose were burnt, cut off. Janapada Kalyani Upadaya, compared to Janapada Kalyani. Now we have to bring this entire thing from here, Upadaya. Now this we have to bring here. Right? So as if the female monkey, burnt female monkey, whose nose and ears were cut off, was shown to me by you, doesn't count to be called a female compared to Janapada Kalyani because she's very beautiful. So you cannot, it's not worthy that when compared to a female, like when compared the monkey, when compared to Janapada Kalyani, should not be considered as a female. It's just a monkey. We cannot compare them. We cannot compare them. So, and also her beauty, the beauty of this monkey is not worthy of one part of the 16th power of 16. And it is out of comparison, cannot be compared in the same way. In the same way, Janapada Kalyani cannot be compared with the female deities. So this part shows that even though it says like the female monkey cannot be compared with Janapada Kalyani. So that part is missing. That's what we get from the commentary. So as the female monkey, so if we put it a full sentence, you have to put it this here. As when Bhante, this female monkey cannot be compared with Janapada Kalyani. In the same way, Janapada Kalyani cannot be compared with this female deities, right? So it doesn't mean that she, Venerable Nanda said Janapada Kalyani is like a female monkey. What he said was, as if the female monkey cannot be compared with Janapada Kalyani. The same way, when compared to the female deities, Janapadi Kalyani cannot be compared. Implicitly, we can say he has compared her with the female monkey. But what he's saying is the gap is so high. The gap of a female monkey and the Janapada Kalyani is so vast, uncomparable. The attraction, the beauty, the same way, the beauty of a female deity and the Janapada Kalyani is unmatchable. It's very far away from each other. So that's what he's saying. He's saying, so this simile have to be understood with the addition of this part, right? Addition of this part into here, right? So then, atako imina imani panchachara satani abhirupatarani cheva dassaniyatarani pasadikatarani. So therefore, these 500, then these 500 female deities are more attractive and more beautiful. So this is what he said. Yeah. It was a long sentence and I had a long explanation. So we can have a discussion on this for today. Yeah. This is what we discussed so
far. Yes, hi Bhante. Yeah, I have just one question. It's kind of a strange question, but from the previous paragraph, we learned that the way the Buddha took the Venerable Nanda, having disappeared at Jetavana and appeared among the Devatinsa deities, and the simile was given as, you know, as a strong man. Just he said that, you know, extend the folded or the folded arm, or would you know, fold the extended arms. It's very quick. But then in the commentary, the commentator gave the detailed explanation that along the way there, the Buddha showed the Venerable Nanda, the burned monkey, and so on. So it looks like it would take more time than just, you know, stretching and folding the arm.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, exactly. Yes.
So it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of strange.
Yeah. So and I think you have read the commentary. So it says, now this also leads to another real something that we have to search for. Now, whenever there's an argument, like this simile has been used in many places, right? You have read it in many places. Like he disappeared from here and he appeared in the Brahmara. Then there's an argument. How did it happen? Was it like you disappear here and you suddenly appear there, like teletransport, like you just disappear here and appear there? But what the commentators are saying, the Buddha has traveled the entire journey, entire path. So then some would say, what is the speed? Is it so speed that he could travel from here to there when a person bend his arm or stretch his arm? So the commentators, sub-commentators are saying, we have to consider it as the exact time. We have to consider it as the exact time. So Buddha suddenly went there with his body with such a speed, and that is the ability of the Iddhi power. And when we look into the distance, we know that if we take it as a fact, it's faster than the light of the speed here. Because if you consider about the length, the far away of the Brahma world, Deva world, as explained in the literature, traveling with such a speed, like it's not you disappear and appear there. It's just you are traveling the entire thing. So it's a very immense speed that is beyond the light of the speed if we just calculate. But when I read this commentary, that what does it mean? Like Bhagava, as you said, he disappeared there and he appeared in the Tavatinsa realm. Now they are asking, Bhagava tassa vachanam sutva, having heard these words, upayenasa ragam upasissamiti, I would subdue his lust with another means. Iddhi balena, with his psychic powers. Nang, that took him. Tavatinsa bhavanang nento, while taking him to the Tavatinsa bhavana, the realm of Tavatinsas. Antara magge, in the road, on the way. Ekasmin jana kette, jama kette, in a one burnt field. Jama khanu mattake, nisinnam. A female monkey was sitting on a burnt rod, a burnt pole. Chinnakana nasa anguttam ekang palutta makkating dasitva. Having shown a female monkey who was burned, body was burned, and also his nose, ears, and even the tail was cut off. Tavadisa bhavanang nesi. So he took him having shown such a thing, right? So it shows, as you said, it takes long time than bending and stretching, because he had to give him a good look. So looking at this monkey, surely it would take few seconds. At least maybe he would made him to look at it for a few minutes to have a good look at it. Pāļiyang pana, in the text, ekakkaneva saptahara Tavatinsa bhavanang gatang vuttam. So it is mentioned as if the Buddha went to the Tavatinsa bhavana instantly. Tang gamanang avatva Tavatinsa bhavanang sandhaya vuttam. So have it not mentioning the journey to show the monkey, it seems like it was mentioned about the Tavatinsa realm, going to the Tavatinsa. Gachanto eva hi, while traveling, Bhagava, the Blessed One, ayasmato nandas antara magge tam palutta makkatin dasyati. So while going, now according to the tradition, Buddha, while traveling, showed this to Venerable Nanda. While traveling. So they accept this fact. Yadi evang, if so, katang samminjadi the nidasana. So why did they mention about the samminjitang vambaham pasaraya pasaritang? Because it showed that he went instantly. So now this is the answer that Mahavihāra tradition is giving. Tang antaradana nidasananti gahitappa. So that is about the disappearing. So it just immediately, instantly disappeared. And then he traveled slowly to the Brahma realm. Evang satta tang tavatinsa bhavanang nitva sakkasa devaranyo pattanang agatani kautapadani panchacharastani attanang manditratitani dasitva, and so forth. So now this leads to another point. Now if we consider now this disappearing, the time which was mentioned about bending and stretching is for the disappearing moment. Yes, instantly you disappear. Within few seconds, within 1 second, you disappear quickly. But in other places, the commentators are telling, the sub-commentator, as I remember, the Visuddhimagga sub-commentator, he's telling that same time he took to go to the Brahma realm. So I was not very happy about that explanation. Now, when I see this, it seems like in all the places we can consider, all the places, if someone can argue, he may have taken some time to travel there, but in all the places, this simile was given to show the speed of disappearing, not the speed of traveling. Not the speed of traveling. Why if the Venerable Ananda could use this simile to show that he disappeared such instantly, but he took some time to travel because he went to the Makkati and all these. It's obvious that the time to disappear and time to travel should be different. So if he took such time to disappear, he would have taken more time to travel to the Brahma world. So as you said, this is also a very nice thing to consider. In other places, when I searched What was the idea of the tradition? Did he completely disappear and appear there, or did he take such time to go there? What is, the sub-commentators are very clear. I was a little bit surprised. They say, it's not just a simile. You have to take that exact time. That is the time he took to disappear from here and to travel there. And then they are saying it happened continuously. Like he had traveled the entire space from human world to the Brahma world. So when you think about the time and the distance, it's faster than the light of the speed. So yeah, so as you said, this is something that I'm also thinking, considering, or thinking about the explanation of the tradition.
Yes. Thank you, Bhante. Yeah. Also, I've also been thinking about that as well. So, but yeah.
And other places they are saying is that at the same time he took to disappear and appear there.
Yeah.
And then the question came: is it like there are two ways of transporting? Now we have a like a notion, right? You disappear here and you appear there. It's called like, I think in scientifically it is not been done yet. Like they are thinking of like my body disappears and appear in the mass suddenly, like teletrans, something like that. Do you know that notion? Like the mass is disappearing there and they create it in somewhere else. So that kind of idea. So I was wondering, is it what the Abhinya was telling? So the tradition says no, he has traveled the entire journey. So then it comes that few questions are there. So this is as you said, why did they mention it if it took such time to travel to show a monkey and so forth? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante. And then the commentary explanation of the word. What is that? Yeah. Yes, the word. Yes. Upanidaya, Bhante. So
Okay.
so this says the tapetor and then ubadaya. Then what is the exact meaning of ubadaya, Bhante? In this case, so you made her stand close to the 500 deities, and then what is ubadaya?
I think the 500 deities were kept close to Janapada Kalyani and they were taken. The object should be 500 deities, it seems. I'm not exactly sure about that. That's what I feel at the moment.
But the subject is the princess, right? So the tapetor, is it tapetor or something? Yeah. So the subject of that verb has to be the princess.
Yes, that's another point. Didn't we have a few sentences that the gerund had a different subject?
While
we are reading, I remember.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Okay.
To be true, I'll discuss this also with my friend and let you know next on Friday. Both the things, Sayatapi Nama and this Upanidaya, how do we get the meaning? Yes, because I'm also a little bit confused with this. As you said, this should be the subject normally, so it doesn't make sense, right? If we take this as the subject, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, so the English translation is compared with, but it's compared with. Then of course the subject is still the Janapada Kalyani. Yes, But
So
then the English translation then is taken as the passive. It has
passive,
the passive meaning.
Passive.
Yeah.
It's a passive, right? Okay.
Yeah, but here it's a gerund. So I mean it's
Don't have passive here, right?
Right, but I mean here when they see upanidaya, upanidaya, they said that's the gerund of, that is the gerund of the upa plus nidahati, right?
Ni plus
so
da, right?
Yeah, so it's not, it doesn't have the passive, I mean the word itself is not a passive word.
But when we look into the commentary, it says samipe tapetva upadaya, right?
Yes, but then is that the causative form?
Sorry?
The tapetva, what is
Tapetva is having kept. Yeah, it's a causative, but it's like.
Yeah, it's a causative, but so it's not passive. It just so made her stand.
Seems like the person who is comparing keeps them, right?
Yeah.
Should not be Janapada Kalyana, I think. Or we have to consider Upanidaya is a one kind of verb which is active voice. It's an intransitive verb that Sakyani, Janapada Kalyani, it's like even we say it as having compared in English as a passive voice. In Pāli, it is active voice.
Yeah.
That also possible.
Also, that means the Janapada Kalyani made those 5 deities stand close.
No, it's like it's not that she's doing the action. So it's like she's not doing the action, she gets compared. So even though it's passive in English, if we consider this is an active verb in Pāli.
Yeah, no, I mean the commentary explanation, but the subject.
Yeah, commentary explanation shows that it's a verb. It's a transitive.
Right. So does that mean that the princess made those 5 deities stand close?
No, that doesn't make sense, right?
Right. Yeah.
Samipe tatta upadaya. Yeah. If we take upadaya as a normal verb, the object of upadaya seems to be these 500.
Yeah.
I'll ask my friend and let you know.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Any other question? One question we can discuss? Someone has? Okay then. So shall we call it a day? So it's already 11:15 in Myanmar.
Yes. Thank you so much, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Thank you for joining and wish you all the best. And we'll meet on Wednesday.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhante.